Cinderella the Fairy Tale. Once upon a time, in a peaceful kingdom surrounded by green hills and sparkling rivers, there lived a gentle girl named Cinderella. She was kind, soft-hearted, and loved by all creatures around her. Her father, a hard-working and caring man, adored her, and her mother filled their home with warmth, laughter, and love. But happiness did not last long. When Cinderella was still very young, her mother passed away. The home grew quiet, and sorrow touched every corner. Years later, her father remarried, hoping to give Cinderella a family once more. The new stepmother seemed polite at first, but soon her true nature appeared. She was proud, selfish, and cruel, and brought with her two daughters, Selena and Rosa, who were equally vain and unkind. Cinderella had hoped for friendship, but instead she was forced into servitude. She slept in the attic on a bed of straw and worked from morning till night, cleaning, cooking, washing, and attending to her stepsister's every need. Because she often sat by the fireplace, her stepsisters cruelly nicknamed her Cinderella, the girl of cinders. Despite her hardships, Cinderella's heart remained pure. She never complained, and her kindness extended to all creatures. Mice scurried around her feet, birds perched on her windowsill, and she spoke to them as friends. At night, she would whisper to the stars, "Someday, my life will change. Someday, happiness will find me again." One day, excitement spread through the kingdom. A royal messenger arrived, carrying a golden scroll sealed by the king. He announced, "The king and queen invite all young maidens to a grand royal ball. The prince will choose his bride from among them." Cinderella's stepsisters were thrilled, imagining themselves in silk gowns and sparkling jewels, dancing with the prince beneath glittering chandeliers. "Cinderella," the stepmother commanded, "prepare gowns for your sisters. Sew, polish, curl their hair. They must look perfect for the ball." Cinderella asked timidly, "Stepmother, may I also go? I only wish to see the palace and dance once." Her stepsisters laughed. "You? In your rags? The prince would never notice you." The stepmother sneered. "You have no gown, no jewels, no carriage. Stay here and finish your chores. The ball is not for you." That night, after finishing her chores, Cinderella wandered into the garden, her heart heavy with longing. "I only wanted to see the palace and dance beneath the lights. Is it too much to dream?" Suddenly, the air shimmered, and a gentle voice asked, "Why do you cry, my child?" Cinderella looked up to see a radiant woman in silver robes, her hair glowing like moonlight, holding a wand sparkling with starlight. "I am your fairy godmother," she said kindly. "You are kind and pure of heart. Tonight, you shall go to the ball. But I have nothing to wear, no carriage, no way to go," Cinderella said. The fairy godmother waved her wand. Cinderella's rags transformed into a gown of silver and soft blue, flowing like moonlight. A delicate necklace appeared, and on her feet sparkled glass slippers. "Now," said the fairy, "you shall have a carriage." A pumpkin became a golden carriage, 6 mice became white horses, a rat became the coachman, and lizards became footmen. Cinderella gasped, "It is like a dream." "Remember," said the fairy, "the magic lasts only until midnight. When the clock strikes 12, everything will return to its original form." Cinderella nodded and stepped into the carriage. The ride to the palace was swift and thrilling. As she entered, all eyes turned to her. The chandeliers glittered, the music swelled, and the prince, captivated by her beauty, approached and offered his hand. "May I have this dance?" Cinderella curtsied. "Yes, my prince." They danced as if the world had disappeared. The prince could not take his eyes from her, and Cinderella felt her dreams had come true. Her stepsisters watched in shock, whispering, "Who is she? Why does the prince look at no one else?" As midnight approached, Cinderella remembered the warning. Fear filled her heart. "I must go," she cried, pulling away from the prince. "Wait," he called. "At least tell me your name." But she fled down the grand staircase. In her haste, one glass slipper slipped from her foot and remained on the stairs. As the final stroke of midnight sounded, Her gown returned to rags, the carriage to a pumpkin, and the horses to mice. Cinderella stood alone, holding only one glass slipper. The next day, the prince searched the kingdom with the slipper. Many maidens tried, but it fit none. At last, he arrived at Cinderella's home. Her stepsisters tried to force their feet into the slipper, but it would not fit. "Is there no other maiden here?" asked the prince. The stepmother replied, "Only a servant girl." Cinderella stepped forward shyly. "May I try?" Her stepsisters laughed. "You? Don't be foolish." But the prince saw the same kindness and light in her eyes that had captivated him at the ball. "Let her try," he said. The slipper slid perfectly onto her foot, and she drew the other from her pocket. Gasps filled the room. "It is you. You are the one I have searched for," the prince said, joy shining in his eyes. The stepmother and stepsisters were silent, ashamed. The prince gently took Cinderella's hand. "Come with me to the palace. Be my bride, and share my life." Tears of happiness filled Cinderella's eyes. From sorrow and ashes, she had found love, joy, and kindness. She forgave her stepmother and stepsisters, and the kingdom rejoiced at their wedding. Cinderella lived as a princess, beloved by all, remembered as the girl with the glass slippers who taught that kindness and courage can lead to brighter days. The end. Subscribe Tiny and Tales YouTube channel for more stories.